What would you like me to? What would you like me to tell you?
You know what? You said something that I actually put here, something I wanted to argue about. You said tech hiring managers don't know how to sell jobs. Okay. And here's my question. Wouldn't they know better than a recruiter who doesn't understand the job, Rich Rosen?
I'm not exactly sure that's exactly what I said. I said tech managers, any manager that doesn't know how to sell the job is probably more what I said.
No, that's not what he said. You
I
know,
know
these
because
guys always say,
my managers are generally startup guys. They know how to sell. So, but the ones that don't, you just run to a buzzsaw. You know, there's like they don't have any energy. There's no passion. I mean, usually they're shitty jobs that you shouldn't have taken to begin with. But you know,
how do you know they're shitty jobs? Because, and how do you know that? Okay, first of all, everybody, I know this because I edited that one, okay? And it was a lot of work because I put a few different people's conversations together and I wanted to get Rich's words in there. So they're imprinted on my mind. I watched it 50 times, okay? Okay, so you said there's two different guys. There's a CEO. I know what you said. I know why I loved it. Or, oh yeah, you said it on your ad. You said they have to know about the leadership. That's what you told us. And then when he did an ad for a job, he said the leadership here, they've taken lots of companies to the promised land before. Okay, that's a line Rich used to use when he was still dating before he was married.
Yeah. You make a joke.
Yeah. Anyway, okay. So that's how we came to it. So Rich, okay, so you said, okay, you need a leadership that can sell, otherwise you're going to be in trouble. But then you differentiated them. You said they're usually pretty good at it, but there's these techies who can't sell. But I'm saying they know the job. They understand it. They can sell it way better than me.
But knowing it and being able to sell it is two different things. Like when you get a guy that goes and say you get a guy who does a presentation, like we had a Pinnacle, we did a presentation from a software company yesterday for some, automation tech. It was like literally they were just handing out Ambien. The guy was so fucking boring, pardon the French. He was just it was just monotone reading, no excitement, no energy. It was horrible. All right. So, you guy may know his product inside and out. But if he can't get his message across and he can't have any energy, who cares?
Okay, so I know he's always big on, he's consistently saying recruiters have to put some energy into their presentations. Yeah. So you're saying that the hiring managers, the interviewers have to do that as well. But that's not what I'm talking about, Richie Rich.
But the hiring managers, the people you're going to go work for. Again, I do sales guys. Like you do techies and engineers, different story maybe. But for salespeople, no one wants to go work with boring Bob, They want to go work with, someone that's got some energy, some charisma to them, someone you can bring in front of a client. They're going to get the client excited about the value of what we're selling and what we can provide for your company and the problems we're going to solve. And if we just say, hey, listen, our software does, I don't know, it does some shit you love. You're not going to be that excited about it. But if you say, listen, I can solve this problem, we stop this leak from happening, and we can bring this much more money into your company, we can stop this and help that and grow this, that's going to be a whole lot more exciting, and that's part of it. But that's a sales job. Engineers, they could be a little bit more boring.
Okay, hold on a second. Okay, you know what? I don't like people who put me to sleep either, and I wouldn't want to work necessarily for boring Bob either. But but Rich, just what you said about these leaders who have to be able to sell like that, I can see a tech manager talking to a developer, saying the same thing. This is what we're going to do. This is why it's interesting. And he or she understands all of what he's talking about. Whereas the recruiter doesn't really know, what it means. Okay. So,
but that's a good recruiter maybe understands more than the average bad recruiter.
Okay. I noticed in your ad, it was all puff. Okay. There was nothing really in it that was substantial. Okay.
You know why I put those ads in there? Those ads are purely just marketing. I don't really care about that. It's so rare that I get the quality candidate that comes in, but hiring managers see my name. They see the ad. Candidates see it. People I like, people that know me, they tell two friends, they tell two friends. It's rare that I actually get the guy out for that, to be honest with you.
Okay, so the thing is, though, I remember when I I've seen you do a video before, and it was a Boring Bob style. Okay, this was very lively, and I even picked up a great line from it. I'm going to take you to the promised land. Okay, I felt like singing a song when I heard that. Okay, so that's what Rich says, everybody. Now, he turned it around. He saved the day. I mean, I thought I was going to rip him to pieces, okay, but I should have known better. He's America's recruiter, and he said, you got to have clients who have some life in them, okay, or they're going to bore the candidate to death. But now that bring it up, your candidate can't be Boring Bob either, can he?
Not at all. I lost the candidate today. He was at 2 in the final. Guy lost out in the interview because he was kind of stiff and rigid. Took too long to find his flow. So the client's like, he won't pass the final. He won't pass the final VP interview.
He was too slow to find his flow. I like that. Well, what does that mean? Like the patter,
Yeah, he's just like he spent too much time trying to figure out the cadence to the conversation, and because he was doing a demo, like a pitch to the client, and he just took too long to find his cadence. He didn't ask value-based selling questions. He was just doing feature function stuff and got caught up in that instead of everything else. And it's too bad because the guy did great prep, did great everything, but but didn't deliver.
What could you have done to avoid that?
I thought I was thinking about that. It wasn't for me personally I'm not sure what else I could have done, because I told him the day before, you got to be able to do X, Y, and Z. You got to deliver. You got to have the energy. You got to have passion. You got to, if you just read off, I always, so many reps and sellers, they'll build a slide deck and they'll put 20 different things on the slide deck. What time is it? 20 different things on the slide deck, and then just read them to people. And no one wants to be read to. No one wants a bedtime story. So, I'm like, you get one slide for every 5 minutes, and here's your bullet points, and then you drive, you got to drive on that, and make it exciting, get everyone in the room engaged. So, that's the coaching I give for those presentations. And
okay, but obviously your coaching didn't work. Should you have said, "Look, Billy, talk to me for 5 minutes about"?
Like Larry Bird sucks because he missed the basket. I'm like, listen, you can only do so much.
No, you could have said, give me an example of what you're going to do. Sell me a pencil, okay, and then say, you know what? Remember, I told you about having energy. You don't have any, okay. And let's go through it again. I'm going to coach you so that you don't go off on you don't read me a list. I can't believe there's salespeople that you've actually cleared for interviews, Rich.
This was the fourth interview. This was the fourth interview. It wasn't the first call. It was a fourth interview.
The fourth interview, and they couldn't tell in the first three that he was a dullard.
This is the problem. This is why you do presentations. So many sellers, they look great, they sound great, and this guy is great. He's a great rep. He just didn't present one. People oftentimes choke on these presentations and interviews. They get nervous. This guy was a Green Beret, for Christ's sake, and he was still he just didn't do well. He's a great rep too. It's too bad.
Really? And so hold on a second. Didn't you go back to your client and say, look, we got to take a second look. Let me talk to this guy, bring him back. But didn't you do that?
Yeah. And they're like, hey, listen, we just, that's not what we do. And I'm like,
they said, look, if he was a SEAL, we saw G.I. Jane, he was had to roll around in the water for, a half an hour. We would take him back for a second try. But he's only a Green Beret, Forget
only a Green Beret. Those pansies, God. Now we'll see what if this other guy, if the other guy in the final fails, which I don't think he will, then we'll probably be able to bring him back for a second.
You know what? I got to tell you, I just am surprised. I think I would, with the fourth interview for the guy who I believe was excellent, I would fight to take him back first. Don't just rule him out. There's got to be more than something's gone wrong. There's something I don't understand it.
But this is the problem. When you're placing sales guys, they've all do these presentations. They've all, this guy happens to be very good and did everything else right. But it's the major screening bar that they go through, and if they deliver flat, he had 3 strikes against him on this presentation, basically, is really what it amounted to. But if you're, this is how people screen. It's like, this is your chance to shine and show what you're going to do best and how you're going to work a deal. And I may have to do all the steps, but when you get to the presentation, you can't present, or you don't do the style they like. It's a huge.
Let me ask you one more question. Why was that left to the fourth interview? Why didn't they test that in the first one?
because it's a lot of prep work for these candidates.
Oh, okay. He didn't have even the materials until.
They only give you most companies only give you like a few days to prepare. And it's not like it's just a 25-minute presentation. It's not like 6-hour long prezzo. It's basically you give a specific case study they give you to do, and it's a huge knockout factor. Like I used to do a ton of work for Tableau, a big software company. I did it when they were small. And they lost so many A players because of this stupid stupid demonstration that you're doing. Every company does. I mean, it makes sense to do them, but like Tableau lost. I mean, God, they were one of my favorite clients, but also one of my toughest clients because so many people get knocked out, with this presentation. So it's a pretty common thing.
Let me turn to David M. Marr. Are you awake, David M. Marr, in heaven there? Yeah, I don't want to ask you if you're busy. Okay, he's busy. Okay, I just wanted to give him a chance to disagree with you, Rich. How much time do you have? Okay, how much time do you have, Rich?
I'm here.
Thanks. We woke up. Okay. Are you good? I want to narrow what you say. Okay. First of all, don't be a boring Bob. Take Richie Rich's advice. Put some energy into it. Okay. When you answer, Rich says that technical people, engineers, are not good interviewers because they tend to be boring. Okay.
I think that's.
Didn't you just say that?
No.
I think that's a stereotype, but there are some amazing engineers that have phenomenal communication skills, just as good as executives or salespeople.
And better than the animal.
That doesn't much. I'll admit. I am.
Especially when I ask them, "Hey, Betty. Hey, Susie. Hey, Billy."
Cool. What's wrong with that? Those are real names. Okay. Now, hold on. Let me quote this back to you because I think that you were here for that conversation I was referring back to. Rich said tech hiring managers don't know how to sell jobs. Okay. And
we were just talking. What I said. I said boring. Well, I don't even remember what I said.
No,
but
you just said I'm in sales. Then he qualified. He says, "Well, I'm in sales. Maybe these other engineers."
Maybe. Yeah, but again, not a blanket statement. I said boring people are boring. I don't know what exactly I said. Boring people don't sell well. Was the point that good interviewers are going to have energy. Good interview candidates are going to have energy. It doesn't matter what you're selling, but technical folks tend not to have the same, as a whole, don't have the same drive as the sellers, the go-to-market folks.
The same oomph, the same
exactly.
Oomph. Okay,
exactly.
But okay, so here's the question for David M. Marr. Okay, I was saying a tech manager should be able to sell the job to a developer, for instance, much better than a recruiter because she understands what's involved, what's interesting, and she can point to a lot of specifics. Also, where the valuable learning can go, all those things. What do you say? And remember, no boring Bobism on this. Don't get stuck in the weeds. Just give me a nice, lively answer.
In my experience, there are more hiring managers that aren't able to sell on the tech side, but at Indeed, most recently, we had some phenomenal engineering managers that sold very good.
Okay, so no. So hold on a second. Let me stop you. You agreed with what Rich is denying right now, that most tech guys, he's agreeing with you, Rich. I don't know what's wrong with you. He's agreeing with what you said, that tech hiring managers don't know how to sell jobs. Dave Marr says the exact same thing. Why do you say that, Dave?
I don't say it. So I'm not saying all, right? I said.
You said most. Okay.
I hear all. He just said the word all. He means everyone.
No, everyone. Everyone under the sun. Every profession, every industry, even recruiters.
Yeah.
No, I would say if you want to break it down percentage-wise, I would say it's probably 60-40. 60 know how to do it. 40% don't.
That's the opposite of what he said 2 minutes ago. Okay.
All right. I got to jump to my 12:30. I just wanted to say hi. So.
Okay. Thank you, Rich.
All right. See you guys.
Appreciate it. Talk to you later. Come back if you want to. The show's going on for a while.